says 14 things. Love the accent, Aaron. Yeah, the valleys. We always love those for accents. The house looks fantastic. Yeah, wow, amazing. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, 3 million. Yeah, thanks. Great tonight. 37,000. I like that. That would have been on that house. I offered 42. 55. Yeah, well done. Good. And choose one at Mo. Okay, brilliant. Guys, what comments? And Michael, any comments on what you've seen with the other guys and what you're doing?
Yeah, I feel it's quite inspiring what Aaron was talking about. That was very good. And
the transformation, I was like, wow.
I can just like transform something from where it was to where it is now. It's that's pretty amazing what he's achieved there.
Yeah, what's really good is he said, he didn't have any training in property or much knowledge, and but the thing is, he is a doer. Look, as a chef, I employed a lot of people, but the ones I couldn't work with were the ones who used to come into, I know, and they'd be sacked within a few hours. But the ones who came in and said, can you please, I'll do anything, teach me, I want to learn. How do you do that, chef? I work with them forever, And you guys like that, Michael, you're like that. You just want to learn. You've got that thirst for knowledge and go and do it. Thirst for knowledge, go and do it. Aaron's like that. Dej is like that. People that we work with. Guys, if you've got any credit, so here we are, releasing money for a project at home. Oh, this is private to me. It's coming in for a few days or weeks. Oh, I changed my life, Michael. Okay, look, guys. I'm sure you've got our emails, or you can contact us. You would have got something. If you want to know more, or you want to talk about anything, then please contact us. It would be a pleasure to have a chat and see, especially if you're interested in any training. If you have any deals, here we are. Kesson is asking how to determine build refurb costs. Oh, great. Okay. It's a really interesting one. Build refurb costs. So if you are, let's do build. Okay. A lot has to do with access. Okay. So where you are building, where you don't have a lot of access, let's say in the middle of a street in a terrace house, and you're going to knock down and build, which I'm going to be doing in a high street in Cambridge, you're looking at a lot of money. Okay. So normally to build a bog standard house, you're looking somewhere between £1,000 a square meter to £2,000 a square meter, depending where you are. So I can tell you the houses that I built are around about £2,000 a square meter, great access in Lincoln. The flats that I'm going to be doing in Cambridge, so we're knocking down a restaurant and a building, and we're going to put the restaurant back, and we're going to do 7 flats on top. I'm looking at £2,000 a square meter, maybe a little bit more. Why? Because the access is horrendous. You've only got that. You can only work in there. And also you have restrictions on what time you can start, what time you can finish. So that means the project is a little bit longer. So it's all dependent on what you do. Now, I can build a house. I'll just turn my computer on, otherwise it's going to go off. I can build a house. I can build a cheap house for around about £900 a square meter. It won't be very good. And if you think of certain national builders, if you've ever been around and looked at their houses, you can go into one bedroom and you can hear what they're saying very clearly in the next bedroom. I will not build houses like that. I'm not interested to. So realistically, I think if you're looking at a normal house, somewhere around £1,200 to £1,300 a square meter. I was in Manchester the other day. We're looking at more luxurious houses, £1,650 per square meter to build a house. Now, the same is going to come back to your refurb. So, a refurb, I can tell you, I've just got to try and remember my numbers now. For a 2-bedroom property that I converted into a 3-bedroom, it had no central heating. I didn't have to rewire, but I spent £900 on a rewire. I converted that and it cost me, I managed it all myself, 18,700. Other people would have spent 30, 40,000 pounds, because just as Aaron said, if you haven't got experience, they're going to say 500 pounds for a consumer unit. It probably only costs 70 quid out of, and you don't know. So they're going to say, and of course we need a flux capacitor, and those things, they're not cheap. They're 900 quid. Well, flux capacitor goes on, you know, Back to the Future DeLorean. But, you know, people do blind you with the science. I'm afraid it's how a lot of tradesmen work. So you have to be able to manage it, but it's so diverse. You can do at, you know, let's say, if you're doing a refurb, you could do it, you know, £30 a square foot, something like that. So it might be £300 a square meter, something like that. It just depends. If I'm doing it in Lincoln, if I'm doing it in Grimsby, which I won't go there anymore, if I'm doing it in Fulham, it depends. So, you know, with the people that I work with, like Aaron and Deji and Michael, when I see the specific thing, I know what I should be paying. All right. Plus, I have, you know, with this LMPG account that I have, even the bricks, the tiles, the plumbing, the bathroom, the kitchens, everything, carpets, I can buy at a very cheap price, and I save probably at least 30% on my materials. Okay, so that's hopefully that gives you a little bit of feedback there. Whether the builders, okay, whether they'll be through builders, or you have to be careful with builders. If they see you with no experience, they will roughshod you. They will. There's no. So look, I was teaching a guy who bought a house, about £110,000, and he said, "Oh, a builder's going to do everything. He's spending, I think he said £40,000 on the refurb, and it already had heating in the property." And it was shocking. And you know, I use that example. Do you know much about it? And he didn't know a thing. And reality, it probably would have cost half of that. Jack, my son, and I, we went to see a property. I think, is it Lord Street, Leslie? Lord Street, is that right, in Cambridge? Is it Lord Street? I think we went to see a property just around a really great location.
You're close. York Street.
York Street, thank you.
Yeah, you're close.
Honestly, maybe 400 square meters, the property, no more. It's tiny. And they had, although they had gas, the owner was there, and they was really happy because they'd had this refurb done. They had the smallest electric. Oh, sorry, whoever that is, can you just mute, please? Thank you. They had the smallest heaters because they didn't have gas, so they didn't put a heating system in. Electric heaters on the wall, they were rubbish. Everything was painted white. There was the thinnest carpets, and they put about 6 units in the kitchen, the cheapest ones you could get, with one of those standalone, brand new, white, horrible ovens with the rings on top. Okay, so which you can buy for 200 quid. So with all of that, no other structural work at all. It was just paint and done. How much do you think that was? Honestly, I thought maybe £3,000. It was nothing. And the guy paid £40,000 and thought he got a great deal.
I think it was more than that. I think he paid like 60,000.
Well, whatever. There we go.
That was really.
Listen, so the question is, how much for a refurb? Well, it's how much they can take you for. I'm sorry, but this is why. So look, you know, people. Here, great quote for you. This isn't about, you know, my training, and you have to be careful where you go for training. Please, that is a must. You must. You see, because Leslie and I are people in the business that actually do investing. There's a lot of people that go out, say they do it, but they don't. So just check them out. But, you know, people say, if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. Right? Yeah, how many times have we lost money? If only we, you know, learn a little bit more about it. So it is a difficult one. But that's, you know, I think that's why, you know, people do pay a certain amount of money to get that knowledge and that support. Brian says, another quick question, please. With deal sourcing, is a limited company that's compliant or an individual directors? Thanks. If you have time to answer, no problem. No. Okay. So when you are deal sourcing, so we haven't set up a company yet for Michael because a lot has been of education. All right. So even if, you know, we get a bite, it's got no problem to go through my company. And then I would either do, you know, whilst Michael is setting up the company, but the money he gets from deal sourcing is all his. So if it had to come through mine, and it would go straight to him, whether he wants that personal or in a company, then I'll get him to have a chat with my accountant. But I would always suggest do it through a company. Make sure you got all your other stuff in place, and away we go. Okay, so anti-money laundering and all of those things. But that's something, you know, that's good. But what so many people do is that they jump in and they want to get compliant without the education. Secondly, they want to waste time by trying to get in a client's account to hold money. Okay, that's a really good one. I've never had a client account to hold money, never. Okay, so what happens? It's held by the solicitor. That's what they do. You lose a little bit of it, but it's held by the solicitor, and you don't need a client account. So people get so head up with trying to do it that way. No, we just got to get it done and make sure you can educate and find the deal. And if you're deal sourcing, please become an investor with that mindset, and you start to become a good deal sourcer. All right. Let's see. Peter, I take that as Peter. Oh God, good to see you. Nice to see you. Blimey. Let's see. With build costs, I think the value of networking within the group is huge. You can see other people's refers and get the feel. Team sport. Love it. Brian says, thank you. You're welcome. So guys, listen, you know, thank you so much for coming on tonight. And I hope you enjoyed. Look, you know, some of you aren't property. So I see, Natalie, I can't see your glass. Have you got a glass? Yes. If that was Lambrini, you were in trouble, I tell you. Hi, Rick. Good to see you. So listen, guys, you know, I know, thank you for coming on. I know some of you, you know, it's very new, and I might, you know, you might get it confused with some of the language. I apologize for that. But I really hope you enjoyed it, and watch this space, because we will just keep people up to date with what Mike and Natasha are doing. And I think it's great. So I'm trying to get my friend available. He's got some family issues at the minute going on, but I'm trying to get that sorted out so he can come and meet Michael, whether on Zoom or when lockdown is lifted. And I think that'd be great. So, you know, watch this space. If you're interested in purchasing or investing in Skegness, please let me know, because that'd be great, because we're going to find some great stuff for you without a doubt. And I know that's going to come up. And if you are interested in training, let us know. And if you want to know anything else, give us a shout. All right. Leslie is fantastic in everything that she does. If you want to know about the rent to service accommodation, she is the UK master, with Pepper sitting on their lap. Hi, Pepper. All right, guys. Bless you. Any last questions here? Oh, one question. Oh, I'd like to consider the deal. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so we will have a chat. That person who's messaged me privately, let me just put my email, and here we are. So that's good. Somebody's interested.
You have another interest. By the way, Trevor, I streamed this onto Facebook Live as well. Yeah. So that's why I disappeared in the beginning. But there's another interest from someone on Facebook as well for the Skegness deal.
There you go. Brilliant. Okay. Super duper. All right. Like I said, we're just waiting for a report to come through, so we will get, but, you know, message me direct. We'll have a chat. We'll keep you informed. Michael, you're on the way, mate. I love it. Isn't it great? I'm so privileged to be in this situation as well. We think it's brilliant. And I know Leslie, you know, it is Leslie and me. All right. This isn't just me. It's Leslie and me. We are sort of, you know, I don't know if you can see, I was always called Chinese when I was at school as a kid, but we are family. That's it. It's great. Who's laughing? Who's laughing? Did you hear him laughing? Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for the lecture. The lecture. All right, guys. Listen, thank you so much for coming on. Dee, good to see you. Simon, Mel, Dan, Deji. Thank you, Deji. Aaron, thank you so much for coming on. And I really hope you enjoyed that. Listen, if you would do me a great favor, if you could go on either my Facebook or if you want to come on to Cashflow-Freedom, ask to join the Facebook group. There's stuff that goes on in there, and or my personal, and put a note about what you think about this evening with Leslie and me and Michael. That'd be really good. And if you want more information, look at my YouTube and Leslie's. There's loads of stuff on it. All right, guys, it has been a pleasure. I hope that you haven't got tired of my voice. And all I have to wish you is a most wonderful weekend, a nice rest over Easter, and God bless you.